The exact opposite.
All right, yes. 1, 2, 3. Good evening, everyone. Try that again. Good evening, everyone. All right, I know we're getting ready to do a boring mission meeting, but hey. So we're getting ready to kick off. If you guys would help me real quick and join me in turning your phone to silent and off. And I even put mine in sleep mode. And usually it'll stop. And then we'll get started here in a few seconds. For staff and residents and everyone here, we thank everybody for being here today. Volunteers, I see a lot of good faces in the room. So we'll get started here shortly. Oh, in the media, we're thankful for Jenny. All right, call the meeting to order. Everybody, please rise. I would like to invite Tom, Pastor Tom from One Harbor, to open us up in prayer. There we go.
Let's pray together. Lord Jesus, we thank you that after a busy day for some of us,
The medium kind of day, any kind of day, we can be here in this place. And the very first thing that we can do is to stop and call on your name. Thank you for that great privilege that we live in a land where we're allowed to do that. So, Jesus, we pray that your presence would be evident in this room tonight, as decisions are made or things are discussed.
on our hearts, so that we may cause worthy of you, worthy of this power. And so you're our King,
Missioners and
they have to do with that, the leadership, and we give you praise that you are the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Amen.
can we get somebody to check the connection on that, please? All right, and if everybody would join me in the pledge of allegiance, flags over here. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Linda. All right, folks, we'll get started into the agenda. And if I get going too fast, you guys slow me down and we'll correct it as we go through. I would accept the motion to adopt the agenda and the consent items.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any concerns with what's in the consent? Resolution included? And just for the public notice, we do have a resolution in the consent to oppose the insurance rate hikes that are being proposed. I believe Swansboro is in the 72% range to increase their insurance. And we have gone up to Raleigh with that resolution and presented it to Mike Posey, the Commissioner of North Carolina Insurance, and we're also will be sending copies to our representatives as well as to the Commissioner. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we will move forward. All right, it is my privilege today to acknowledge one of our tenants, if you may, and it's not often you get to recognize a tenant. And any of y'all have rental homes, you know what I'm talking about. But I get the privilege of acknowledging One Harbor today, not only as a tenant, can we turn this down? Not only as a tenant, but as a partner, as a community advocate, and just overall, just good people. And so I'd like to invite Tom Tappan and Mr. Isaac to come on up on behalf of One Harbor. We have a proclamation, and then we got a couple more things for you. And again, it's just to say thanks. And I'm going to fill in some gaps as I read this for the work that you guys have done. And whereas One Harbor Church has been active in our community for approximately 7 years, whereas One Harbor Church has demonstrated a commitment to enhancing our community by renovating 2 of our buildings, the Emerson building and the one that you're in, with furnishings, audio-visual components, and decorations contributing to the revitalization and beautification of our town. And whereas One Harbor Church has played a role in pest control, that should make you laugh a little bit, but there's a story to go with that. And the efforts of improving the Emerson School and contributing to the safe and healthy environment for the community. And whereas One Harbor Church has exemplified forward thinking and resilience by designing their new building to withstand a Category 4 or higher hurricane, and therefore enhancing the overall safety and preparedness for our town. So I'm going to stop on those 2 and I'll continue on. So first, with the Emerson building, these guys literally had people crawling under the raised floor because they had church one Sunday and there was something biting at everybody's ankles. I don't know if you grew up, I don't know what got called an ankle biter. Anybody else get called an ankle biter? Well, we literally had fleas up under and feral cats up under the building, and they went under and completely fumigated and took care and removed the feral cat and got it clean under there where we could all use that facility in a much more safer way. I want to say y'all did some mold mitigation as well. So that building was terrible when you went in, and now you can go in and enjoy that building. We just had a leadership meeting there the other day, and it's just awesome to use now. So thank y'all for that. And then in terms of the Category 4, the building that they're building over there on Main Street Extension, when they designed that, they met with multiple commissioners. And one of the things that they did on behalf of the town that they didn't have to do was that they fortified their structure so that in the situation that there is a Cat 4 hurricane pre-hurricane. We have some place to take our staff, with some of our first responders are here with us today. We have a backup solution to the building that we have. And unfortunately, they got delayed due to Florence and COVID and all that stuff, but it's still coming. And they're still a community partner, and we know that in a critical situation like that, we would have some place to go, and that means a lot to us. So whereas One Harbor has consistently shown a willingness to support our town staff, offering assistance when needed, and fostering a spirit of cooperation and community engagement. So to explain that one briefly, they have come and helped us solve problems with the sound system. Actually, this whole sound system used to get a lot of complaints that you guys couldn't hear us, and now you're probably thinking that it's so loud if you turn it down. But without them, they've solved the bugs and the issues, and when we get stuck, there's usually somebody that'll come over and help us get unstuck, and they've been just totally friendly in helping us do that, and we appreciate that. So therefore, I, as mayor, John Davis, on behalf of the town of Swansboro and the town of commissioners, do hereby express our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to One Harbor Church for their outstanding contributions to our town, your dedication to community improvement, safety, and support for all our local areas. And we commend One Harbor for the unwavering commitment to make our town a better place to live and thrive. Your actions serve as a shining example of positive impact a dedicated community partner can have. So in witness, I have signed this, in witness, I have signed it. So my privilege to present this to you, I think it's time to thank you. And on behalf of the town, we got a couple. Well done, guys. Thank you again. Well, I wasn't done yet, was I? I told you. I got a couple people to introduce over here. All right, so it is my privilege today to introduce two new professionals to our staff and to our family of Swansboro. And I'll start off with John Barlow, our town manager, who was with us in 2019. It's hard to believe that it's been 5 years ago, but he helped us through a budget cycle. Then he was with us for 6 months and did a tremendous job then. First person to come to mind when we had to transition to get another town manager in an interim. And John, I believe it was an instant yes when I called you real close. Instant yes to come back? Instant. All right, well, would you like to say a couple of words?
Thank you for the introduction. I was here about 5 years ago. Back up, I've been in interim for about, I think it's the 6th time I've been in, but I have not been in twice in one town. But then to have you come back, I think it makes me feel pretty good that you didn't mess it up so bad the first time that you come back and come enjoyed working with John the first time. And I hope that short period of time, a year, I hope I can be in a better place again. Last time, I look forward to working with the board here, getting everything good things. But there's got really good staff. John called me and said, hey, come back again. And I thought I was retired again. And I thought about it. It's a great community. Long road. It's exciting to be here.
Thank you, John. Welcome. And to the staff members here, he said, well, who's here? Who's still here on staff? And I read off the names. He said, yeah, this would be just so y'all know that. He was excited for that person. It's my privilege also to introduce to you Mr. Francis Raspberry, and he is our new attorney, and where his organization is, and he is better known as Raz. So Raz will give you a moment to introduce yourself and your firm.
Mayor, my name is Frank Wesley, and I do this about that all the time. I'm with Raleigh Christian Law Firm, based in Wilson, Raleigh. Work out of the Raleigh office, but my wife and I have placed out here in this unique Swansburg area for about 50 years. And I really enjoy giving those folks in Swansburg, and honestly, saying this is about the city is not just an it's part of the country tonight to be able to, I hope to help, and be in the town attorney, here, our firm to be in the town here. Looking forward to working with the staff, with the mayor, and with the thank you.
I give this microphone back, so we got it here. Fire department, so I need to give the chief, Chief Jacob Randall.
Supposed to be recognized as three, but one's actually from last week, the other one's part-time. Mayor, Commissioners, I'm honored to stand before you tonight to recognize three of our personnel, even with one present, for an outstanding action far above the normal emergency operations, strengthened by multi-agency teamwork and cooperation. I was contacted November 23rd regarding a water-related rescue incident with our neighboring agency, Bear Creek, Humboldt County Fire. On November 22nd. While this is what we do and what we signed up for, the actions of our personnel are highly regarded as positive, professional, impactful, and essential to the team's overall success during this incident. On the night of November 22nd, 2023, Onslow County Fire Rescue was alerted to a stranded boater in the marsh area of Willis Lake. Once Onslow County units began arriving and speaking to the bystanders and family members that were present, we quickly learned the incident was much larger than the stranded boat. The subject on the boat was a great risk of hypothermia due to prolonged exposure time and approximately 50-degree temperatures with a north wind range of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Due to the location of the vessel, access was extremely limited. Once Onslow fire crews could access the subject, it was determined that further manpower was needed based on the initial patient assessment. Incident commander requested Swansville Fire to respond with our watercraft to assist in the rescue. On our crew's arrival, Captain Hammond was briefed by the incident commander on a rather aggressive course of action to extricate Onslow through the end of the subject from the marsh. Captain Hammond, engineer Webster, and firefighter Wheeler made way with the Onslow County paramedic. Swansboro crew was able to technically navigate the difficult sections of Tidal Creek, making direct access alongside the subject road. After successfully taxiing the patient, our crew could skillfully navigate the maze of creek back to the boat launch where the patient was subsequently transferred to Onslow County EMS for further treatment, ultimately making it recovery. This notification will award them a meritorious unit citation, which is awarded in recognition of the entire company for outstanding company-level operations on a major incident far above any normal emergency operations, primarily dependent on teamwork and cooperation. This meritorious unit citation is recognized by a gold unit ribbon marked in the center with blue, white, and red stripes. This is firefighter Wheeler, Captain Hammond is the class this week, and engineer West is part-time assistant. So, everyone recognizes for their
Thank you, Chief, and John, we're looking forward to more of those recognitions and having more of our staff recognized and maybe something out of the ordinary. We appreciate it. Staff, so thank you. Ms. Brown, I apologize, but please come on down. You probably need to do this.
I live at 601 West Broad Street, and I just wanted to introduce myself in person, although I know I'm and say that I'm excited to offer my services for any board positions, and so to call out for interested community citizens of the 21. And yeah, look forward to answering any questions, or I don't know if I need to do my whole bio up here.
Well, you're welcome to share with us on your resume if you would like, but board members, any questions for Ms. Brown?
Have you gone to fill out the application at the council?
Yes, thank you.
So do you have a particular interest in one board?
And Joe, just a reminder to all the board members, please use your microphone because we are live.
I'm live enough.
I am interested in the planning board or the historic committee. Just, I guess, a quick background. I have my master's in public administration in Wilmington, and was born and raised in Toronto, and recently moved back to the area. So, just kind of getting involved in it.
Any other board members, questions or comments? All right, Ms. Brown, thank you.
Matter of fact, I do. Lauren, just tell me in your own words, why do you want the position?
Well, I think it's.
What motivates you?
Yeah, well, I think it's important to have engaged citizens serve on boards in the town that they live in. When I was in Raleigh, I served in an advisory board for water and sewer board. So it wasn't on the board, it was an advisory board for them. But I think any sort of involvement like that, especially in areas where it can provide some, if not expertise, then enthusiasm and research and things like that. I just think it's for a better town. Living here, you're benefiting from either good or bad policies, and we can help.
Thank you.
All right, have I skipped anything else? But good. All right, we'll move to board appointment. And you guys will bear with me a second. I want to get my notes. Organized. Bear with me just 1 second. Let me flip over page 14, 15. I think it is. And board members, you should have, Ms. Linda provided everybody a list of the current board members, so you should have that at your station as well. And so, Mr. Lisa, would you like to introduce this and then I will take over?
Yes. Due to expiration of terms or resignation, several board appointments are needed. We will need appointments to the planning board for 1 in-town seat and 1 ECJ. We currently have 10 applications on file for those interested in the in-town seat for the planning board, and we have 0 ECJ applications on file for interest on that seat. For the Historic Preservation Commission, we have 4 seats to consider for appointment or reappointment. That will be 3 regular and 1 alternate. One of our alternate members is on the list of interested board members who would like to have a full seat, and that's Eric Young. If it is the board's desire to appoint him to a full seat, then we will need to consider appointment to an alternate seat in addition. The Tourism Development Authority has 3 seats.
So Lisa, just for clarification, Mrs. Casper has offered that she would just like to stay an alternate this time.
Correct. It's not long for seats this time.
All right.
The Tourism Development Authority has 3 seats to consider for appointment or reappointment, and the tourism board, we have the parks board, where there are 4 seats considered for appointment or reappointment. That's 2 in-town seats, they only have 4 seats, that's a mistake, I apologize. They have 2 in-town seats and 1 ETJ for appointment. We have 8 applications on file for in-town and 0 for ETJ.
All right, very good. Thank you, Alisa. All right, so on the planning board, as I understand it, we have the 1 town seat and 1 ETJ seat. We do not have an applicant for the ETJ seat. As you guys know, Joe Brown, Commissioner Brown, has vacated his seat. Do I have a nomination to take that seat for the planning board?
Nomination Tim Benoit.
Tim Benoit. Okay, do I have a second?
No second.
All right, do I have any discussion?
Another nomination, Frank Jones.
So we have 2 nominations. All right, so I have wait a minute, so I can't take that Frank Jones yet because I have a second on the floor. So we need to just have discussion at this point. So any discussion on Tim Benoit?
I'll just say, my reasoning for selecting Tim Benoit, he has been a member of the community, deeply involved. Has run a successful business, has a successful report, career, also worked for
Joe,
the government.
use the microphone, please.
He's worked for the government, and he's had a successful business. If anybody knows him, they know him because they see him everywhere. He gets around the town more than anybody I've ever seen. So, it's with pride that I select, or I recommend him to be on the planning board. So, that's a hard term.
All right, any other discussion on Mr. Benoit? All right, hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed?
Nay.
There's 1 no. All right, so Mr. Benoit, congratulations. Welcome on board. All right, any other discussion on the planning board?
I have a point of order here, Mayor. I want to take this town and what I promised the people when I got elected to this thing. And what I mean by that is, I see someone on the board, on the planning board, that probably shouldn't be on the planning board for a lot of different reasons. One of them is that the uncandid answers that were given during the town hall, for example. And I find it difficult to trust that individual in anything and advice that he's going to give this commission in the future. So, without hesitation, I would like to recommend Mr. Eric Young replacing the chairperson. The planning board this time.
All right, do I have a second for Eric Young to replace Scott Chadwick as the chair?
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
We had 2 noes and 3 yeses. So, I believe it's Eric Young. So welcome Eric Young to the board. I don't believe Eric is here. Oh, I thought you said Eric Young. Did you say Frank Jones? Oh, I apologize.
Is it Frank? Frank Jones?
You did take Eric Jones for nomination.
You said Eric Young.
No, Philip said Eric Jones.
I thought Eric, Eric Young.
All right, so what we voted on was Eric Young. What we voted on was Eric Young. Okay. So Eric Young is, will be finish the term for Scott Chadwick. Is that correct, Mr. Rath?
Mr. Mayor, that's not
Okay, any other, actions needed on the planning board? All right, hearing none, we'll move to the Historic Preservation Commission. We have Jonathan McDaniel and Elaine Justice, who are interested in reappointment. And Ed Benene, who has chosen not to. And of course, Greg Casper, who would like to continue on as an alternate. Do I have a motion, concerning the Historic Preservation Commission?
Yes, I would move to reappoint all those who wish to continue, which would be Jonathan McDaniel, Justice, and Greg Casper. And I would nominate Lauren Brown to fill the Bene's vacancy.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor to reappoint Jonathan McDaniel, Elaine Justice, and Greg Casper. And along in that same motion, we have a motion to put Lauren Brown onto the HPC commission. Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor, yeah, excuse myself from that, Elaine Jim.
Yes, sir.
Also, associate.
All right, sir, if you could please step down to the first row during the vote. All right, so did we get a second? If so,
Just have some discussion.
all right, so did we get a second?
I'll second it.
All right, so Jeff, we do have a second from Jeff Conway. Do we have a second on the floor discussion?
Yeah, discussion. So are we increasing the composition of the board then? From this?
No, no, sir.
Okay, and I'm not, Elaine, I've got Jonathan Kennedy, Edward Benet, alternate Rick.
So Mr. Benet has chosen not to be reappointed.
Okay, gotcha.
And so Lauren
Now-
Brown will take his spot.
Gotcha.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor? All right. Lauren, you have come to every meeting, and I just applaud that, thank you, and welcome. All right, good job, and well done up here as well. We welcome you. All right, moving forward, to the tourism developmental, I'm sorry, is there any other discussion or issues with the Historic Preservation Commission? Welcome back, everyone. Snuck in here. Tom, you were supposed to, sorry, I think. All right, any other discussion on the Historic Preservation Commission? All right, hearing none, then we'll move forward to the tourism development. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of explanation here. This is so that we get it right, so that y'all can learn as well. So the Tourism Development Authority was done by the state on behalf of Swansboro. So we actually have a North Carolina general statute that is in state law for the town of Swansboro. We do have some requirements that we have to meet. 2 members must collect occupancy tax. So that could be, as Ms. Linda Thornley is here, with the hotel and Inn, or it could be somebody like Mr. Jack or Mr. Randy that collect through a temporary zone. And as long as they are collecting that tax on behalf of the town. Then 3 are required to be in promotion of travel and tourism. So they need to be involved in tourism and promoting it in some facet. Now, Mr. Raz, correct me if you feel we need to go a different direction, but from our previous attorney, the 2 may be a part of the 3. And you can do them separate or as a whole, but you have to hit the 2, and the 2 could be, the 3 could be composed of the 2. And then, if we choose to do it that way, then the other 3 can be at large, or they can be involved in tourism or in collecting tax. The critical thing is we must meet the 3 and we must meet the 2, and they're allowed to overlap. So, Mr. Raz, any change to that?
No.
All right, thank you. So with that said, we have, yes, sir.
Before we get to, just provided we can get the composition of the board what's up for reappointment here, John. I'll have to point one of this as well. So when you want to bring that up?
Right, go ahead.
But
no motion, please.
no motion. I believe in the same process that I talked about for this, this individual is also in tourism development authority. Term is expiring, so it won't be, I don't see that as an issue. But I see another individual on here whose term is expiring as well, or not expiring, but they currently hold a seat within the county with our school district. And some things have come to light in the school district where I think that individual should concentrate more of his effort on that job first, the security of our students. Dividing his attention with this appointment, I think, would hinder him in our future.
All right, thank you, sir. I'm assuming you will give us a name when we get to the appointment process. All right, very good. All right, so we have 3 seats to consider. We have 3 people asking for reappointment. We have Sherry Hancock who is with us. Sherry, would you like to say anything? Okay. We have Scott Chadwick and Ms. Linda Thornley. I do not see Scott Chadwick. Linda, would you like to say anything? Okay, very, very good. Well, I'm going to take this moment to, guys, if you don't know Ms. Linda Thornley with the Hampton Inn, she is a brilliant lady, and she has done an amazing job, and she's over like 3 hotels now. So I just want to brag on her just for a second. She's a very amazing woman. So with that said, folks, I guess I showed some bias there, but do we have nominations for the Tourism Development Authority?
I'd like to nominate all 3 for reappointment.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, do we have any discussion?
Yes. I can see 2 out of those 3, but not, definitely not the third. And like I said, when we come to that discussion, there'll be another one.
Okay.
That I'd like to see someone else finish the term.
Okay, and do we have any others? All right, so we have a motion on the table to reappoint all 3 of the TDAs. Folks, we have a second on the table, if I'm correct. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I sound like I have 2 yeses, all opposed?
Nay.
That sounds like I have 3. Lisa, did you get the count I got? Okay, so the motion did not carry. Do I have a different motion for folks that you would like to have nominated? And I'm going to go ahead and step out on a limb here, and I'm going to ask for a motion to nominate Linda Thornley. Go ahead and nominate her back to the board. Do I have a motion to nominate Linda Thornley?
Yeah, I'll motion to nominate.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we still have 2 slots to fill, folks. Do I have any motions to fill the slots for the Tourism Development Authority?
Nominate Lawrence Adams.
Who's that?
Lawrence Adams.
Lawrence
I'll nominate Jenny.
If it's okay,
One at a time.
Yeah, we'll have to do one at a time. Do I have a second on Lawrence Avalos?
Second.
That's a first and a second. Any discussion on Lawrence Avalos? All right. All in favor of Lawrence Avalos?
Aye.
All right. All opposed?
Nay.
All right. So I hear 3-2. Elisa, do you agree with me? Opposed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the no to Lawrence Avalos. I'll take a motion. Larry, I guess you were next.
Jenny Simpson.
A motion for Ms. Jane Simpson. Ms. Jane, I believe you're in the audience. Is that right? It's my understanding that you currently do not want to serve. Okay. All right. Thank you. All All right, thank you, Ms. James. So, Larry, would you be willing to withdraw that nomination?
Yes, I would call the nomination.
All right, do I have a nomination for the TDA?
I'd like to nominate, Mike Gill.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right,
Again, I want to recuse myself.
all right, so, sir, yeah, you gotta sit before Isaac, so you have to speak up on your. All right, so we have a first and a second for Mike and Dale. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of Mike and Dale?
Aye.
I'm sorry, couldn't hear. What did you hear, Lisa?
I heard unanimous.
You heard what now?
I thought I heard all four.
You heard unanimous? Larry, you agree? Unanimous? Jeff? Doug? Jeff? All right, come on back up, Bill. All right, so it's Mike, I don't see Mike here, so,
He's out of shoe right now. I'm watching him.
okay, all right, so let's welcome Mike and Bill. So we have one slot, left. Do I have a motion, for that slot?
I'd like to nominate, Preston Patterson.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Bill, you're not related?
One of the few people.
All right, so I have a first and a second. Any discussion on Preston Patterson?
Is he here tonight?
He is. Preston, would you like to say anything?
Would you like to say anything, Preston?
So Preston, you want to come up and use the mic for us, introduce yourself, name, address, phone number, social security? Okay.
We named the restaurant Preston's Corner Bar and Grill. Been with the company there for about 7 years. Service industry about 20 years, where people day in, day out, from all over the place, see what they're doing, what they're going on here, and all that stuff like that.
How long have you been here in Swanson?
7 years.
7 years. And how long have you had the restaurant?
Already,
Year and a half.
2 years.
And you've been working in there for what? Go ahead.
Give the folks a feeling what it's like to be a restaurant owner. How many hours do you put in a day? My dad was in the business. He put in 17 to 18 hours with average day rate.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. All right, any further discussion on Mr. Patterson? All right, all in favor of Mr. Patterson?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, have 4 yes, 1 no. Mr. Patterson, welcome aboard. Congratulations.
Point of order on this one.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I'd like to nominate someone to finish out the term for Mr. Rhodes.
All right, who would you like to nominate, sir?
Anyone within, that's got tourism authority, I think, is this when they have to be individuals, right?
And with the current makeup of the board, you are allowed an at-large. You may also choose someone off one of our advisory boards, or you may choose somebody off of the town board, if you so wish.
The reason is I thought about this candidate for a while. I know get some feedback from him. He contacted us personally via email and telephone calls, Stephen Overby. Kind of got to know him a little bit, and I know where he spends his time doing contracting cleaning services for hotels. I don't know if that actually puts him in, but the guy did, how do you say this? He did petition for the job. He seemed hungry for it, and anybody that's that hungry for it, I think ought to be given consideration and further discussion. Does anyone ever discuss this nomination first?
All right, so if you could make the nomination, and then we'll open up the discussion.
Sure, I'll nominate Stephen Overby.
And you have to say the whole thing, but you're nominating him to
I
take
am
over the.
nominating Stephen Overby to replace or to finish out the term of Mr. Rhodes.
Okay, very good. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, we have a second on the floor. Any discussion?
I have a concern that, he's gonna have the ability to spend and
I'm gonna agree with you. I like Steve over the.
I like him too, it's not against Steve.
Yeah, I think he's a great guy, but I am concerned as well that he does not live in the town and, yeah, I'm just gonna say I have concerns. I'll stop there.
Mayor?
Yes,
I
sir.
have the same concerns. He not only does not live in town or in DTJ, but doesn't even live in the county. So I have to go along with Commissioner Brown's comment.
Okay, so we have a first and a second on the floor. We have several, comments on, yes, sir, Mr. Joe.
I have one more comment, and it's not necessarily about Stephen, but somebody about the poll, but has anybody verified that Justin Rose, I've been told he does not live in Swansboro, or
He does not live in Swansboro.
It's my understanding he lives in the ETJ, but that's my understanding.
his slot, his slot for
Tourism development.
Tourism does not have an ETJ slot. It does not, it has really no resident requirement. It only requires that you, have the 3, folks that deal in tourism and 2 folks that collect the, tax dollars. So I do think what Larry said is important, and at least in my opinion, that you should be collecting those tax dollars within Onslow County, or at least within Swansboro.
So then would I be correct in understanding that he doesn't qualify to be on the TPA?
Well, he is in the ETJ, and from an at-large perspective, and that's really where you are right now, is you're in an at-large perspective, then he is, as qualified as any other at-large candidate. All right, so we have a motion and we have a second. With any further discussion? All right, all in favor for Steve Ogilvy?
Aye. And there's a nomination.
All right, all opposed?
Nay.
All right, so the nomination fails. Any other discussion concerning the Tourism Development Authority?
Well, given the talent tank we have here, people have Kelly Brown that's interested in it, as well as Lawrence Abbott. Lawrence Abbott is the town limit, and also nominated by Larry.
Okay,
I believe it will be Jeff.
I believe it's Larry as well.
So obviously he has some trust with the board member. And what the man says is true. So I think, by just going through the process, I think anyone interested in the tourism authority, including Mr. John Fitzgerald, that I listed, ought to deserve some discussion.
All right, is there one that you would like to nominate? Or somebody else would like to nominate if you feel the same as Mr. Eckendorf?
Mayor, I just a question, is there any particular, reason for removing Mr. Rhodes?
Yeah, Mr. Rhodes has got a pretty important job here, I think, and some things have come to light with the school board members that aren't exactly, how do you say this, that leave a lot of doubt in Mr. Rhodes' ability to concentrate on the local impact keeping our students safe out there. In the past year, there's been a killing at North Side High, and there's been a serious gunshot wounded at White Oak. And to find out also that our school district, the one who's in charge of safety and security, has been non-compliant in providing assessments for the past 10 years. And that makes me think that man should concentrate more on that one primary job he's got than worry about tourism authority here in Swansboro, unless you disagree.
Well, I think that to me, that would be just a decision that Mr. Rhodes does, and not a decision that we would make for him.
All right, board members, how would you like to proceed?
I still want to replace it. I think the managing concentrate on the primary job. I don't think the tourism authority ought to be a distraction from it at this point.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I would nominate Joe Brown. He's on the board, but he's got a vested interest in making sure our county dollars is tourism safe, and I think he'd be a good replacement.
Okay, Joe Brown. All right, do I have a second second for, Joe Brown, and the nomination needs to say that you would be nominating Joe Brown to finish the term or complete the term for Dusty Rhodes. So if you could nominate that, clarify your nomination.
Yeah, the nomination was for Joe Brown, who's sits on the board here, he lives in town. He has a vested interest in making sure the town, tourism ready to survive.
To complete Dusty Rhodes.
To complete Dusty Rhodes.
Term. Thank you. All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, discussion. Joe, are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, other discussion.
Mayor, I'm comfortable with the current appointments, and, so I would, nothing against the commissioners, but, I would have to stick with the current slate. Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? All right, so we have a motion on the floor for Joe Brown to complete the appointment cycle for Dusty Rhodes. Do I have a second? We have a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
So we have a tie. So, Mr. Raz, it's my understanding in this situation that I have to vote to break the tie. Lisa, do you agree that there were 2 opposed and 2 for?
For formality reasons, I would say that it would be in the best interest of Mr. Brown to state that he is voting, that he excuse himself.
Very good suggestion, Lisa. So Joe would, it's probably, if you're not going to vote, North Carolina law requires that you either recuse yourself or that you have to vote. Otherwise, your vote, I believe, counts as a yes. So.
I'll recuse myself.
Okay, so you can, yes, sir, please.
Just to correct, I don't think it's required, but I think it's a basis for his requesting to be excused from voting. So you don't get into trouble with the no vote counting for that affirmative. But just for that clarification.
Yes, sir, thank you. All right, so, and again, Lisa, great advice, thank you. And so, I believe it's 2-2. Do I need to take that vote over again, Lisa?
You get it down to deciding those.
I just want to check and see if we
I
need to.
appreciate that.
So my question is, since he didn't recuse himself, should we retake that vote?
You can do it.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor for Commissioner Joe Brown to complete the term for Dusty Rhodes serving on the TDA, and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No. Nay.
I will vote yes. We'll move on and come back. All right. All right, we're on to the Parks Board. We have 4 seats to consider.
I'm sorry, there's a type of.
You need 3, right? All right, we have Miss Nancy Allen, whose term expires, as well as Elena Messenger. Elena, okay, very good. And then we have Miss Deborah Philippe. Do I have a motion concerning the Parks Board?
Mayor, I would move that we reappoint all of those that would have requested to be reappointed.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to reappoint Nancy Allen, Elena Messenger, and Deborah Philippe. Do I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
All right. So, board members, how would y'all like to proceed? Do I have a motion to appoint someone to the Parks Board for these 3 appointments?
Motion to appoint Matt Crane.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
All right, I believe Mr. Crane is in the office. Would you like to say anything, sir?
309 Mountain Court. We've been here now for almost 5 years. We're on paying until the one year we make it, this is Signal. I just recently retired from the Marine Corps. Technically, I'm still on active duty, but I haven't used it. So my final day is 1 March, and I couldn't be more excited to say that my retirement place that I've chosen, and I'm traveling the world and living in multiple places that I can so I would certainly accept the privilege of serving on many more years, but it's definitely.
Any questions for Mr. Brennan? Thank you, sir. All right, so we have a motion on the floor. We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of Mr. Brennan?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, so I hear a 3-2. Do you agree, Lisa? All right, Mr. Brennan, welcome to the Parks and Rec Board. Thank you for your service. All right, I'm going to make a suggestion here, folks, for Ms. Deborah Philippe. There are no other ETJ applicants, and as far as I know, she has been stellar at supporting the town in the Parks and Rec. So I would entertain a motion to reappoint Deborah Philippe to a new term.
Second.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
You didn't say so moved.
Yeah, I'll still so moved.
All right, do we have a
For
second?
Deborah Phillips, for ETJ.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor of Deborah Philippe?
Aye.
I heard unanimous. All right, board members, we have Ms. Nancy Allen or somebody else if you so choose.
Motion for
I'm sorry, I apologize. I apologize. You have Nancy Allen or Elena Messenger or somebody else if you so choose. You only have one slot left at this time.
I would motion to keep, Messenger.
All right, second. I heard a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Well, Ms. Elaine is in the audience. Ms. Elaine, would you like to say anything?
I've been in the field of parks and recreation management for 20 plus years. It's been my entire life. And we will be retiring here, super invested in this area. I've always been one to say, if I want to complain about it, I actually part of the solution. So, I think we will be talk to continue to grow.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Messenger? Thank you. All right, any further discussion on Ms. Elena Messenger? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I believe I heard unanimous. Welcome back. You had to live through a long one there, didn't you? All right, so welcome back, Ms. Messenger. All right, I believe, all right, any other issues with the Parks Board while we're here? All right, hearing none, I believe this concludes our board appointments. Lisa, thank you for guiding us and keeping us straight. All right, folks, we've been going for about an hour, and I see the two pastors leaving. Gentlemen, y'all be good. We appreciate you. We're going to take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll come back. there's a requirement for your at large. You have to meet the three that we have to do. Right, we have to speak about that. It's not a true accident. We have, you're, we're the part of the context. Yeah, well, in the context, you can't actually. They have to be done. the meeting back to order. There has been a question brought up about the TDA in terms of the chairperson and a vice chairperson. There is currently a chairperson serving, and there is no requirement in the state statute or the town resolution that that chair should be voted on annually. Now, concerning the vice chair, spent a few minutes over here on the sidebar with our attorney and town manager and clerk. The suggestion that the staff provides us concerning the vice chair is that the board would select a vice chair out of the 6 members of the TDA. It is, of course, it's up to the board, but the suggestion made by the clerk is that we do that at the next meeting. We can do it today if you guys have somebody that you would like to be vice chair. We can go ahead and put that to bed today if you guys would like. So either way, however you want to do it, is also suggested by the attorney. Although typically in boards, the board would select their chair and their vice chair because this board is a special design board, and the city board here defines the chair. It is recommended that if there is to be a vice chair, that this board defines the vice chair. So with that, board, what would you like to do?
Mayor, has it not been traditional for this, for the TDA to elect their own chair and vice chair?
No, sir, the TDA chair is done by us,
It is.
and there's not been a vice chair, to my knowledge, ever elected at the TDA.
Okay.
And so, and again, the attorney's advice is that because of the way the board is designed, that we would define the vice chair, because it's not a traditional advisory.
Can we invite the attorney to speak further on this and what special definition the TDA falls under? Because I need to know why we're going to do something.
So, sir, Mr. Raz, if you want to go to that microphone over there. So, Doug, if the resolution is in your minute, in your agenda packet, what we're allowed to do with that. So that's why, yeah. So, Mr. Raz, if you want to address a question.
Yeah, break it down into something I can understand, though. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. The resolution of the town that establishes the TDA is unusual in that it calls for the board of whatever the basic function. It also calls for the board justice to name a chairperson from among that group of 6. It doesn't say anything. It's silent on the question of whether the board of commissioners shall or should appoint a stand-in for the chairperson, that is a vice chairperson. But my thought was that since the resolution in the TDA calls for the board of commissioners to appoint among the leadership of the board its chairperson, the board obviously needs a vice chair. If the board does not have someone that is named as vice chair to stand in the event of an absence or that particular action, action can't be conducted. It's lacking a designing officer. So my suggestion was that once we condition 5, that if the board has the authority to name the chairperson of the TDA, it also has the authority to before the name to be vice chair. I don't know if the members would have met yet, constituted, but I know that also they would want to have as their vice chair, have a chair. But again, if the board wants to chair, I thought the board have any private or name vice chair as well. Just have a chance.
My suggestion is just as a board meeting. That's my immediate suggestion. Larry, go ahead.
Exactly what I was going to say, Mayor. She's been serving on this TDA since the beginning. She knows, I think that it's important, I think for all of our boards to have some continuity in from 1 year to the next or several years. And so, yeah, I think she affords that benefit.
Right.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, I believe we have unanimous. Congratulations. All right, so we have no public hearings. At least I believe we have agreed that we have dealt with all of our board issues, appointments. And so at this time, I would welcome, who am I inviting up here? Miss Rebecca, I don't see your name. All right, Miss Rebecca, come on up. Oh, there it is, I see it. All right. So Miss Rebecca, if you would share with us about the stormwater master plan.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. I'm just going to give an update on our stormwater master plan grant, and I'll kind of give a brief summary to those who might not be know the full details of it. So the town was awarded a $400,000 grant as part of the local assistance for stormwater infrastructure investment grant from the American Rescue Plan Act. And the goal of this stormwater master plan is to collect data and update the database of the town's stormwater infrastructure for future updates and maintenance. Withers Revenue was selected to complete the project in October of 2023. At the December 18th, 2023 kickoff meeting with staff and Withers Revenue, a public outreach meeting was recommended. It was decided that the standalone meeting will be held sometime in February to gather both input and to educate the community of the details of this project. And through monthly progress meetings scheduled with staff and Withers Revenue, further details of the meeting and project timeline will be available soon. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the project and just wanted to update you guys on the process.
So Ms. Rebecca, if I understand correctly, the purpose of this grant, or the purpose we've chosen to use this grant for, is to completely map out the best we can.
So it's data collecting and assessing our current assets. Now, it is important that we won't be able to collect every single easement in town, but we're focusing on the problem ones and the ones that are most in need of maintenance. That's my understanding of the goal.
So if I understand it, they haven't completed the project, that they have started.
We just started the process, so we just had a kickoff meeting last month. We
Okay.
selected Withers Revenue to execute its data collection and create the plan for us. So we just started the process.
Do they have a date when they'll be probably finished with the data
I
collection?
believe right now the project is projected to be finished in December of 2025. Is the projected project goes out.
So when you say mapping, I thought, think about this here, was about 2 months ago, I think, about mapping this. To what extent are you going to be mapping them? I've looked at some places that are, if I was gonna draw a map, I'd have to have, like an etch a sketch or something to, so I can keep erasing my mistakes. They're long and winding roads. I know when we talked before, it's gonna be to enhance your ability to do the maintenance on the, on stormwater. But are they going to, when we continue to find?
My understanding is they're collecting data to compile a database for us, our tanks primarily to use to identify where the easements and drainage pipes are and what the condition of them are in. Can't be further answer that. Yes. That was my understanding.
But you say map, now we're talking data.
Well, they're surveying all the easements to create kind of a guideline and database of where they are. So a map is stored, if you want to call it.
I don't know, let's get the tank.
We talked about a stormwater map of the town. Right now, I have a map that was started in 2018, and there's 119 stormwater easements / stormwater pipes within the town. We're going to, what the Rapid is going to do is verify that that map is accurate, what they need to do, if they need to do anything, add, if they need to add. And then they're going to assess the easements and the condition of the easements, let us know where they stand. Because I have said this before, when I was on the crew, when I was a crew leader, we did about 50 or 55 easements throughout the town on a regular basis. When I got to the office and took over that spot, I found the stormwater map of the town to 180. Maybe for about 4 years, 60 or 70 of them weren't even looking at.
Right.
For various reasons. Misunderstanding of who they belong to, whether they're BOC easements or actual town easements or private easements, and things like that. Also, there are easements within subdivisions that we have not taken over and won't take over that HOA is responsible for, or some outside entity. So once they get this everything map and assessed, then I've asked for a priority list of what are the number 1, 2, 3, 4 things that we need to do instead of putting band-aids on something that we need to do some meaningful construction to get this the stormwater under control. This is a planning grant. Once we have a plan in place on what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, then we can go after construction of up to $5 grant of up to $5 million. That is not, the town is not responsible for paying for that.
Hey, board members, I'm gonna ask, because man, have some decorum up here, please just raise your hand or ask for my attention, because I know everybody's excited, everybody wants to hang. So, if you would, so I've got Doug in the queue, I've got Joe, so we'll go with Doug. Hey, were you finished first?
Sure.
Okay, so Doug, go ahead.
So I've listed out the topics and everything this data collection covers, and I see the benefit that thank you. But what are at the end of the day, after they spend $400,000 grant money, what do we have? What do we get back as a product? Do we have updated topographic maps showing all of the convective artery system of our stormwater process as a whole? And then you get the melody, you get paper copies, digital copies, stuff that you can explore 3D with the computer, these kind of things as well. Okay.
And then we will have so the result we will be able to make plan on how to attack our problem areas that are issues with stormwater, which there are many.
And the reason I ask that is because I just want to make sure that it goes beyond the data collection, so we actually get a product analysis back from them.
Yes.
A product that helps you do your job better.
Yes.
If it makes us more efficient, yeah.
All right. Bill, you got
Yeah, I have a question. So Winters Ravenel was doing the surveying previously, and is this tied in with what we were doing previously? Is this the same project, or is this a whole different
It's a
thing?
different project. However, when we're talking between two is Water Street, Rock Street.
Right, yeah,
We're going to do down there, that we did not receive funding.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
This is not the same, but that is going to tie into that, is going to tie into what they're going to do. Because they're going to be assessing the entire area, especially downtown.
And I want to thank you guys, everybody involved with doing this for another time consuming and tedious. Thank you guys very much for everything you've been trying to get this figured out.
Thank you, you answered everything I was curious about. I just want to extend to you anything that I can do, or to do, to advance your efforts. Sure, make sure you let me know.
All right, Larry?
Yeah, Jack, don't, we also have some underground piping, particularly in the old district, that may be obsolete or damaged beyond repair. And in some cases, we don't even know where it is.
That's correct.
Okay, and this consulting agency is going to help us locate that. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Downtown, the school district is not good shape.
It's a mess, is that what you're saying? Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, other questions for Hank, if you have it? Okay. Thanks, excellent, thank you, Ms. Rebecca. Any more questions from Ms. you didn't need us to make anything, you were just trying to give us a good update.
Just giving an update and kind of in conclusion, we'll be in touch about the details of the community meeting if we want to send out a survey and get the town, of course, people's feedback on where they think the problem areas are. So those will be taken into consideration before they do start the survey process. So
Can I ask one more question?
Yes, sir.
So will the survey, will that go to every resident in the town or just specific neighborhoods?
to my knowledge, it's going to be posted like on the website, and we can put it in an email, QR code. It'll be available kind of in paper version to the community meeting, so there'll be multiple means of getting it accessible to people.
I was asked, and you brought up the QR code, which is modern, and, you know, we're all kind of getting over the whole QR code and doing all that, and that's great. But I was asked by, one of the downtown residents that, let's say are a little older than we are, that they would like to see some in-paper stuff that they can actually touch, feel, read.
Right.
So if you could please include that in your mix, especially, I don't know how you define that or how you get that mix out to folks, but I know some of our older folks don't do the QR code, they don't do the internet as fluently as we do.
Right.
So if you could help that.
Yep. In regards to the historic one, we always have the survey accessible at the front desk. And then in regards to the stormwater one, we can have it at the front desk and also in paper version at the community meeting for people that want to go that route.
And just make sure it's clear to them in the email that you send out. I think most everybody has an email.
Right.
That they can get that paper copy.
Okay, I'll make note of that.
All right, thank you. Other comments, board?
I have one more comment.
Yes, sir, Mr. Tang.
I had mentioned that we've only done about 50 to 55 years for about 2 years. And I found the map and we started talking about, under the direction of the crew leader at that time, Justin Webb, last winter, that the crew went through every easement on that map, looking at it, clearing out any obstructions and things like that, trying to get the water to flow just a little bit better than it was. Still, there's a lot to do, but they're back in there doing that again this winter, going back into those easements and making sure that there's no major blockages and things like that. They found a tree, a large tree that had fallen over a whole branch towards the, end of it, yeah, the East Road, but they got that cut out and moved it, yesterday and today, and it's flowing a lot better, but there's a lot of work to do. The crew is out there literally doing that, every day, every week.
Mr. Justin's here, so thank you, Mr. Justin, for the work that you guys do to bring this out. That's hard work. All right, any last questions on this? All right, thank you. I believe Mr. Jacobs up. Chief Reynolds.
Mayor and Commissioners, thank you for letting me speak again. Present to you a couple of grant options that we're trying to see. First one is the application for assistance to firefighter grants for equipment. The need to communicate with other agencies detrimental to our success and safety of the emergency services. And as we strengthen working relationships with surrounding agencies, we have identified a deficiency in our current capabilities. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, provides grant opportunities for enhancing homeland security preparedness, safety, and community resilience. One of those grant opportunities is the ASP grant. During the fiscal year 23-24 budget workshop on May 17th of last year, I presented the intention of seeking funding assistance for new communications equipment for the fire emergency service. FEMA provides this grant opportunity for enhancing homeland security and safety, and one of those is the ASP grant, which we're seeking today. If awarded, it would assist in purchasing the necessary equipment to enhance our communication with surrounding agencies and operating with numerous communication banks. We currently use the 800 system here in Carteret County, or Alonzo County. Carteret County is the DHS system. Since April, we've also had the priority of strengthening and building relationships with our surrounding agencies. And in doing so, we've actually discussed completing this grant as a regional grant, meaning numerous agencies will receive the equipment that was awarded. And the Hubert Volunteer Fire Department would like to join forces with us to go after this grant together. Both of us would get the essential equipment, and then we can work out a cost share agreement that would reduce the cost even further. We would be what's called a host agency. We would write the grant, we would orchestrate the purchasing, we would follow all the required reports we have to do annually, biannually, as well as we would draw on the reimbursement. It is a cost share match, and it's based on the region's population. We would work to draft a cost share agreement with Hubert, whatever we decide. We get 50 radios and we get 50 work that out when we get the logistics. The populations under 20,000 on a 5% cost share, the populations under 20,000, so less than 1 million, 10% cost share. We, because it's based on the average population, we get 2% cost share match for the overall funds, which will be further divided in whatever percentage we agree upon. Preliminary quote for this equipment which is needed to issue personnel and apparatus is $822,800. That's an estimated cost share match of $74,801.55. If selected for this grant fund, that would amount to a cost savings of $747,998.45. If we were to purchase it on the finance over a 5 to 10 year period. The AFG notice of funding has been released, and there's $324 million available. And the application period begins in January 29th, closes March 8th. Award notifications will begin in April until the funds are exhausted. Furthermore, the acceptance of this grant will be presented to you for official acceptance in the form of a resolution, as we did with the AFG grant we received for the CAP-based system that's in operation today. So we're asking for you to approve the fire department to seek regional grant funding for the Central Communications Equipment for the fiscal year 2023 Assistance to Firefighting Grant as the host agency partner with the Hubert Volunteer Fire Department. Estimated $822,800 but not to exceed $900,000. We're also asking you to allow the town manager and myself to draft cost share agreements, preparing for any award notification and the potential of future financial opportunities to maximize cost efficiency.
All right, well, first, I want to say thank you for reaching out to Hubert Volunteer Fire Department and reaching out to volunteers. Also, I want to say thank you for increasing the number of volunteers that we have in our department and the culture change that you're making there and creating value for our volunteers, and just high praise for that. Thank you. I would like to understand let me back up. So there's my understanding, and you don't have to get this to the penny, but basically we're going to have to spend, or somebody's going to have to spend $74,000 to get this grant, correct?
Total would be the matching amount. So
Right.
essentially, we have to pay up front the $800,000, but then we draw down and reimburse to a $74,000 amount.
Okay.
And whatever split we did with Hubert.
So if we get the grant, we actually have to put the $800,000 up first.
Initially, and then the draw down comes pretty quickly once we get the equipment in. We're actually processing the draw down.
All right, and then my second question is, typically when you get a grant, we like to think grants are free, but they're not, right? We see that there's the $74,000 cost. What is the long-term cost if you get this equipment versus the benefits of this equipment? And what's the balance when we go year to year? Because I'll use an example and not pick on Anna, but Anna's got that beautiful building over there, and there wasn't a lot of planning done when we got that building. We just had to buy how many air conditioners for you? 4 or 5? So, you know.
Long-term maintenance cost.
Yes.
So that would be a budgetary thing, but it's a $3,000 to $5,000 depending on what the service, and we need to be programmed on a basis. The ones we've had now, they're not full band, so we can't operate 800 MPs yet. But the ones that we would be getting would be, we need to get them reprogrammed for some reason. Simple change, it's a $3,000 to $5,000 budget for that.
So is that an annual expense or when needed?
The service is recommended that you can go a couple of years without having the updated software program.
After that, we would have a $3,000 to $5,000 potential annual, maintenance requirement.
If we do so.
All right, board members, other questions, additional questions? Go ahead.
So how long would it typically take to get that grant back? I know it's hard to pinpoint.
So there's no guarantee that we will get it yet. But doing a regional grant with multiple entities is typically looked upon better than FEMA to get more grants. So if the period closes in March, review happens in April, they start the award around the April 30th timeframe, and then it goes until they run out of money. So it could be 1 week in round one, and it could be September 1st, right before they run out of money. So if we are awarded, we can come to you and say, hey, we have got this grant, we have to approve it within 30 days, but we do not have to spend the money until the next budget year, so we can plan for it.
In the worst case scenario, if we didn't get to that, you still have upgraded equipment that would benefit the community.
I have 6 radios that are dual band and interoperable. I will be planning for more in this coming budget year for the option. So we can operate currently. They currently do not have any, which is really good for the grant providing service right now. And that's without my application process. We are okay for right this second, but moving forward.
All right, Mr. Barlow?
Chief, I think it'd be helpful for the board to know what the town share is of that cost share with these towns, because we're getting the town cost for the entire match, 2%. Correct. So the town for their share.
Yeah, so the 74,000, which all share agreement we would work out with them is based on radios. If we get 50 and they get 50 out of 100, it would be 50-50 split. But that would be discussed in the all share. And we would bring that back to you for the resolution we were presenting. So like if we had, if it was a $500,000 grant, we have 10% cost share, that's $50,000 that we hypothetically $50,000. And if we agreed upon a 50-50 split with Huber, we would be responsible for $25,000. It all depends on the riding positions in the apparatus. So if they have more riding positions than we do, if they have some more trucks, we might be a 30% split, they might be 70. We're just going to be a post station, so it just depends on how we negotiate out the equipment being provided for what our percentage is. And I won't know that until we finalize the quote and actually sit down with the apparatus seats and the radios and whatever issues we have. But whenever we are aware of that, I'll present that to the
Board members, other questions or concerns? Larry, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically the grant request would be based on the number of units that you would end up with, so it could be less than the amount that you've got here.
Sure.
Okay. So, I guess also, as far as the 74,000, that would be the maximum amount. And so it could be 74,000 for that. Okay, depending on how many units.
We're going out just on a hypothetical of how many trucks they got, kind of a rough number, and that would be 100,000. So they could come back with an actual finalized for 600,000 after we work the fleets out, of how much they agree upon, and how much we need. So it could be good. But this is right now, it's a rough estimate.
Right. Thank you.
Chief, could you tell us who is the, like in here, it's a pretty good description of how the budget works. But who's the maker of this emergency radio system? Who's giving me charge of, I guess, providing software upgrades? We just Motorola.
Yeah, Motorola.
Motorola.
Humboldt County is a proprietary communication system that was designed back in 2012. Primarily Motorola. The only other radio system that they bring information to is CARES, and that's what we use.
And these are mesh network radios, also able to achieve data. Like, can you exchange data between two?
If you get the upgraded version, you can. We're looking at a dual band for the 800 megahertz of the VHF. We don't want to do the GPS because there's stuff we have to do with the terminal that we're not that way.
Yes, sir, Larry.
Just another question as to what is the longevity of the equipment before it needs to be rotated out and replaced?
So typically you aim for 10 to 15 years lifespan of the radios. It all depends on the heat damage, the heat device, insurance to cover that, or the damage from the sea. So a typical vacation plan is usually within the 15-year mark. Although they come up with some kind of new technology that requires
I think we got almost everything, but here's one I'd like to hear. What is the manufacturer warranty, defects and equipment?
Motorola's pretty good with it, but
Yeah,
I don't
I
have
understand.
that until we actually get the full quote on it.
Basically, I want to know how long the initial warranty is for.
I would say at least a year, but I'll know that.
So if I'm doing my math right, then basically when you do depreciation, we're looking at $7,000 a year for these radios. You do the depreciation.
Later on, afterwards, or like upfront? Right now, we're talking,
Well, by the time you get to the end of your 10-year cycle,
yeah, so the actual radio itself is about $8,500. The mobile truck is about $8,000, and each head is different.
but in terms of the town, the cost, will, if we get the grant, about $7,500 a year for that. So, okay. Not including depreciation, that's why. Right, other questions? All right, let's see if I get this right, Chief, let me know if I messed up. I need a motion to approve the fire department to seek the regional grant funding for the essential communications equipment through fiscal year 2023 assistance to firefighters grant as the host agency partnering with Hubert Volunteer Fire Department, estimating $822,800 and not to exceed $900,000, and allow the town manager and fire chief to draft a cost share agreement preparing for any award notification or the potential for future financial opportunities to maximize cost efficiency between the agencies. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I believe that is unanimous. And Chief, I believe you have the next item as well.
This is the big one, I guess, sticker shock. So through an evaluation, risk analysis, and strategic planning, the town of Marlboro Fire Department has identified the need to increase staffing levels and emergency medical services capabilities to better protect the livelihood of our citizens and guests. Federal Emergency Management Agency FEMA provides the grant opportunities for staff and adequate fire and emergency services on the SAFER grant to hire personnel and enhance the level of emergency services offered by the town of Marlboro. This might be a little long list, so stop if you got questions. But during the budget workshop, again, I brought up the intention to seek alternative funding sources by applying for the SAFER grant to hire personnel. The personnel would greatly enhance the emergency services that we're able to offer, and it can count for an increase in call. Likewise, some positions that are sought after will be trained to the paramedic level, which will provide a higher level of medical service to the citizens of Swansboro and ultimately all those counties. The previous direction was to plan and present the service level enhancement vision and find funding to reduce the financial burden. So this is step one of a multi-step process to seek service enhancement and develop further partnerships and establish agreements to build sustainable EMS programs within the Swansboro project. Presenting this request tonight is to gain your approval to seek the potential initial funding source for the required personnel while progressing towards a long-term sustainability by creating an agreement with key partnering agencies for long-term funding. The goal is to seek this funding as the primary agency. At the same time, the benefits of our paramedic providers will be extended into the county through the EMS system plan inclusion. Pending your decision tonight, we will work to create those plans and agreements in the coming days and weeks before we actually go out to the application. The SAFER grant, if awarded, will fund the requested new positions, allowing for adequate time to augment and enhance the planning efforts needed to sustain the position. Typically, these positions are funded for 3 years. However, the notice of funding has not been released yet, that will come out in the next couple of weeks. The last couple cycles have been a 0% match. So for 3 years, you're 100% funded from the federal government, and that covers salary, benefits, FLSA, approved overtime, but it doesn't cover like extra festivals or overtime that's not scheduled to book now. The period of performance, if we are awarded, we can stretch over 4 budget cycles. That's the plan, that's the goal. So it gives you a more gradual time to absorb salary after the grant. So why you may ask if we need more, why do we need paramedics and why do we need more people? So before my arrival, we only responded to Charlie, Delta, and Echo priority calls, and this is based on the emergency medical dispatch system. And it's essentially how a 911 caller answers certain questions. Omega is extremely low priority, and then Echo is one that's requiring CPR. So after numerous attempts in August, we finally enhanced our EMS response from only high priority calls to answering everything from Alpha to Echo. Improving this service capabilities to the Swansboro and the White Oak community fire rescue, which is a county contract area. Doing so, we increased our call volume from 813 in 2022 to 1,221 in 2023. 418 of those incidents occurred from August to December, after we adjusted our response level. Of that 418, 154 experienced an on-scene time greater than 20 minutes, with an overall average of 22.14 minutes. We had 43 incidences where crews were on the scene between 30 and 45 minutes waiting for ambulances. We had 19 that was between 45 and 60 minutes, and then we had 3 that were actually over 1 hour. Recently, we had one that was over 2 hours. We've also seen an increase in our overlapping call incidents, meaning one or more simultaneously, and that's increased by 14.66%. While we strive to provide the highest level of service, we're legally obligated to provide fire protection services, and the overlapping incidents presents the issue of missing a fire while we're providing medical aid and waiting on transport. So this requested staffing would allow numerous companies to be staffed daily, as well as having an alternative response method to ensure that no incidents go unanswered. While this initial funding request does not include a transport unit, it is an initial step needed to get us to the enhanced license process, and maybe future down the road having a transport unit. We're also building that foundation of increasing our service. Numerous other steps are needed to fully transition to this, and this is the first one. With all the transitioning to different levels of government, waited to start any kind of agreements until we got everybody set. So, we would have to do many different steps, which is applying, reviewing agreements, looking at equipment. To sustain the program while focusing on primary legal responsibility and fire suppression and protection, the number of personnel that we're requesting would allow for effective response force for both fire and EMS, aiding in the lowering of the insurance ratings for ISO available personnel credit, and likewise the already developed professional development plan allows for continuous growth of our current employees to increase their capabilities from basic life support for EMT to the paramedic level through a one-time career with the South Swansboro project. So I'm seeking your permission to apply for the fiscal year 2023 safety grant funding of 12 full-time personnel, 6 which would be classified as firefighter 3 or firefighter medic, and then 6 that would be firefighter 1 or 2, and then all of that application. The annual calculation for this funding is listed below, and the overall fund requested over that 3-year period of performance, which would be 4 budget cycles, total of $2.6 million based on the current capability. Again, over the coming days and weeks before applying, we will work with other organizations seeking out partnerships with one to identify long-term sustainability for the funding source of this program. During this time, if we find that the option for not to be supported by other agencies, we will go with. So this is one of the grants this year awarded. When you turn it down, your federal grant application process is probably the follow-up. So that's why we want the ability to seek the funding and work on the partnership we come into that agreement, actually goes forward. If during that time, this, partnership is not available, I will bring back to you secondary options, for this process is not actually open until after the AFG closes in March. But it closes really quickly. And suppose we all agree and we receive notification for the potential award, we would have to come back to you for resolution to approve the acceptance. So I'm asking tonight to approve us to seek funding to hire 12 personnel for fiscal year 2023, staffing for fire and emergency services and safety. Grant application for a minimum of $2,693,516.12, but not to exceed a maximum request of $2,350,000. And allow the fire and police chief to actually compile a public safety specific pay scale that promotes recruitment and retention and reduces employee classification concerns. Any questions?
Yeah, so let me, start us off. So I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked you a year ago.
Okay.
And there's a part of me that is trying to really appreciate this safer grant, and there's a part of me that is, frustrated with the safer grant, because I feel like I've been here 6 years, we've applied for 6 years, and we've been rejected for 6 years. So what I would like to understand is, and I understand you're going to try to work with the county, which again, I appreciate that partnership, and I think, again, that's a great decision on your part to establish that partnership with the county. But I feel like, what analysis have we done to try to understand why we're not getting this grant, yet we apply for it every year, and what are we doing different to have a better success rate to get this grant? Now, that's question one. Then question two is, if I hire 12 people, and yes, we're all excited, it's going to be paid for 3 years, what do I do at the end of the 3 years? If I put the town in a bind that they have 12 people that they've got to continue to support, you know, what's the balance there between the, number one, what are we doing differently that we might feel that we'd be successful at this? And number two, how do we handle that long-term problem of, this is a contract, basically you're creating 12 contract jobs that you're going to tell them at the end of the 3 years that potentially they will no longer have a job.
So I haven't found yet where we've applied for the safer grant itself. I can go back and look and see what, if I can see, if we have applied for it, I can see all the narrative. I haven't actually applied for this grant before. I went around one with the town of Newport, which we hired 3 at the time, to take our staff there before. So, evaluating what we have done, I'll have to look at that. So I don't have an answer completely. But again, this is a very competitive process. Adding this amount and writing the grant as can't write a regional grant for safer, but writing the narrative to include that our personnel would be interoperable with the surrounding agencies and provide volunteer agencies next door actually get credit for ISO, for our personnel on duty. So you can include that into your grant narrative to increase the bang for their buck by saying this firefighter is more impactful, he's not just harmful to the areas around us. To sustain the program, that's why I mentioned in there, we did not get a partnership, you know, foregoing the 12 people. The minimum that we need to do to have firefighters on shift would be 3. And coming back to you and saying, hey, this is the cost for a firefighter paramedic for the next 3 years, would be 3 personnel. So that's where that was going to get established through partnership. But yes, sustaining the program with a different funding source is priority number 1 once we get to go ahead and all. This is to seek the grant and get the interest from y'all on going after and then developing the partnership.
And would that partnership include, well, Bear Creek is part of the county now, if I'm correct. Would it include you with volunteer fire department? Certainly that they're very close to it, and you're already including them on this other grant. And then is it possible or interesting or unreasonable to work with our
have them call Western about it, see if they would be interested, but the funding itself will be from us, and we will primarily come from the county for the system. That's the other agency that we will use system-wide to put our EMS providers in that, to work on the county EMS, or on the county EMS.
Well, I certainly ask that we, even if there's however we would do it, obviously, that we continue what you started and have people volunteer, fire department as part of that. Again, I believe, anything we can do to support volunteers, and they support us either way.
We actually just signed automatic catering, and we're starting to go with truck company on fire water.
So the more we help them, the more we're helping ourselves as well. So anyway, board member questions or comments? Go ahead, Bill.
So where would you see us getting the additional firefighters from? Do you get them from the academy, existing firefighters already? And suppose we get the grant and we can't hire 12 people to add first out. How will that affect the grant and being responsible for it?
So if we see the hiring to be an issue on the level one instructor or paramedic level in Central Carolina, as well as other avenues to actually keep the program, which is like a grant that is high firefighters and training to that level. It's all an application process. Since I've been here, and it takes only some time, I have a lot of people that have applied. We've increased our volunteers and up to returning 2 applications a day for that. We've got part-time applications coming in from the academy. We have a strong part-time base that we can work with these people coming from. So we have avenues with the firefighter staff, the paramedic staff, and just like everywhere else in the state is trained, but it goes with the culture, the value, and the image that we're creating in our firefighter. That's where that pay skill development for us to have something that reduces the compression as well as enhances the growth.
Yeah. Chief, quick question for you, and I'll be quick at that. This money for the 12, you cannot find 12 or hire 12. Can you use it to enhance the training and salaries of our current employees?
No, so whenever you apply for the safer grant, the positions that you're funding are solely for the grant. It can already be, you have that.
So it has been new positions.
Correct. Now, there is 2 types of safer grant. There is the hiring for firefighters, which is what we're seeking. And there is the recruitment and retention grant, which can go to recruiting and retaining employees currently.
Have we considered that there?
No, so we have worked on this one first, and depending on I can actually speak to the grant writer that we dealt with at the time, the previous grant, that could give me a lot of valuable information to see if we're capable of applying for both. I'm under the impression we can only apply for one, and like AFB, we can actually apply for multiple, safer than one for the other. So,
I'm in the same camp of the retaining them after 3 years. I dealt with a lot of term and temporary employees in my last life, and that's a hard fill when it gets down to 2.5 years, and then you start sweating. At 2 years, you start losing it because they find something better. So it's something to consider. I think we should go for all money we get, but something we have to think long and hard.
we have a robust professional development ladder that has created and conducive to retention, which would be further enhanced by the paramedic opportunities. So that is there for the recruitment and retention aspect of the sustainability of the funds, as well as looking at the alternative partnership with the county.
So the concern there again is if we don't have the money, we can train them and they can be as loyal to all as they can be. When at the end of the day, they have a family to support and enhance their life. That should be their commitment. And if they see it for something better, don't blame them at all for going. That's why we have to do everything we can do to make right here the best place to be. And I'm quiet.
All right, Larry, I believe you had your hand up.
Yeah, I have the same concerns. I mean, look at, $859,000 a year, and then on the third year it's 936. You know, I've seen these grants in my past lifetime as well, and when they run out, they don't renew, then, you have two choices. Either, you just end the program, which you, in this case, there's a lot of employees involved, or you somehow come up with a way to sustain it and absorb them. In our case, I think our town tax, what brings about $52,000, $52,000 per penny, is that about right? Is around there. So when you start looking at, you know, applying this to a penny of tax in order to absorb, you know, $900,000, then you're getting up into 15, 18 cents, you know, of a tax increase. So, you know, we certainly would need some other revenue sources in order to support this if we want to continue this program after 3 years. The other, of course, is, are there any hidden costs in here as well? Uniforms, equipment, vehicles, you know, things like that. I think that would be important to know, because that's got to be absorbed, you know, through, you know, our local taxes here. So, if there's anything else in the note here. The other, of course, is we're looking at the current salaries, and then we're going to have a salary study. Then we're also looking at, you know, possibly increasing not only our salaries that we already have, but I would think that this would also affect the proposals that are here as well, so those salaries could go up. So whatever we're looking at here is an increase. It's going to be an increase somewhere, whether it's in the regular operating budget with equipment, supplies, vehicles, and or in the future, you know, having to absorb these salaries, you know, in the regular operating budget. So I think this is really something that we need to think very hard about before we make that full commitment. I'm not sure I'm ready to do that tonight yet, but I like the proposal. I like the idea of providing a better service for our community. It's just that it's a pretty, it could be a pretty hefty price tag if we go down the road.
And that's where the partnership is, where we're hitting on the next step in the
So my understanding is, basically today, you're just asking to apply. If you get it, you still have to come back and you still have to vote.
Correct. So really, the step of this is to get y'all in here and we're going.
Not getting the line check to do it right now. I mean, it's all process.
And if there's
You
any,
get it, then it comes back and then.
yeah, if there's any uncertainty on any sustainability of partnership sale on the other end of the consulting communication effort, we'll go to 12 to come back to something that we can manage on the local level and actual resources sold.
Yeah.
I have one more item, Chief. Simple, said there is another safer grant for salaries and pensions. I know you don't have enough on your plate already. I would surely like to hear that we looked into that.
Yes, I can do that. The process won't open until March, and that one's a little bit more in-depth. We can write the book.
I really think we got to look at our pensions and our salaries.
Absolutely.
I said that from the beginning.
We appreciate that.
All right, board members, other comments? All right, so my last comment would be is I've been asking for paramedics, and number two is asking for you to be empowered when we have a paramedic on staff, or paramedic on staff, which is yourself currently. And certainly, I believe if we had a training pathway for these folks over here to be able to get trained as paramedics.
Do them already, Mark.
Oh, so we have 2 more paramedics over here, okay. So we need these guys. For the audience's understanding here, I've got now 3 paramedics in the room that you have, I should say, problem that we are trying to resolve with the county, but we need to really push and pursue that. And John, I would ask for your help on pursuing that, because these three guys, they're right here on our streets. And with some of the times that we're seeing for EMS to get here, it would be of value to our residents if these guys need to put their paramedic hat on, even if it's for a moment, would be helpful. And I realize that we're asking these guys to perform fire service, not EMS. I understand that. We're asking chief to be chief. I understand that. But there may be moments of urgency where the chief can say, at this moment, I am making executive decisions. I'll put my paramedic hat on. We need a helicopter at Swamp for high school staff. So we need to solve that. And so, and John, you look like you.
I think what the chief's looking for is guidance from the board now, work on developing those relationships so that he feels good about making that application reasonable.
No, I'm not arguing
I'm not
that.
asking the town to take this on, but let him develop those partnerships and come back and say, I've got financially this is now feasible.
I kind of went sideways on you, and that's my fault. It's two different things. I like what he's doing here, but I'm also saying on a side note that we need to figure out why we can't get our guys empowered to operate as paramedics if they have the North Carolina license to do so.
Yes,
Okay, very good. So Jeff, I agree with what you said. He's just trying to take the first step here. He's not spending money yet, and he's got to come back to it before he does.
So it seems like the condition is not too good, so if I get those through.
Yeah, that's true as well. So we want you to prove us wrong, sir. So,
I was that almost undefeated for my interest group.
all right, well, all right. Precious, okay. Now we're gonna start wagering. Now the wager time comes in. So, all right, folks. Well, I'm in support of this guy. He is working hard for our town and trying to improve things. And I do believe we have a couple stop gaps if we choose not to support this, or that the commissioners can do. So I'm going to ask the board to make a motion to support the approval of the fire department to seek this funding, as well to allow the fire and police chief compile options for the pay scale in order to promote recruitment and retention and reduce employee classification and compression. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a second? Second. All right, do I have any further discussion?
Yeah, I just want to add, Mayor, that I do like the approach of exploring and also putting together a package to bring back to the board, because definitely to do something like this, we need some help. The other thing in terms of salary compression, I support that, but I think it should also be something done during our budget process to make sure that we also consider our other employees that are here in town that may be experiencing some of the same issues.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That sounds pretty unanimous. I don't think I need to ask.
Thank you very much.
Jacob, you got a lot of work to do.
That's fine, we're ready.
I don't want to see your light turn off at 5 o'clock.
I've been here.
All right, so, let's see, bear with me just a second. I think we got, can you make it 15 minutes? All right, so I think we can do this in 15 minutes, right?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. And then we have a Lisa.
5 minutes.
I figured Lisa would take the other 10 minutes. All right, so Sonia, you're up with our budget report so this concludes all of 2023, is that correct?
No, this is just December, this is our first 6 months of this fiscal year.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So we did receive the audit's done, and the auditor will be coming in to discuss. I just gotta set that up. All right, so here is your 2-year comparison of your revenues over expenditures and your, and this is with encumbrances, which means purchase orders, that kind of stuff. And if you can see, your total excess of revenues over expenditures are $795,478.
Here is your 2-year comparison for your actual of your general fund and your total access of revenues over expenditures for $846,923.
Back up real quick.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
And here's our expenditures by department as of December 31st, and overall, the total expenditures are at 46.30% of budget, which is 3.7% less than the monthly projection of 50%. So I mean, there are some, like your non-departmental, I just wanted to share with the new commissioners that, some are a little bit over, like your festival events, because we've had most of our festivals, the only one left is our festival. So that's why that's at 71.8%. Non-departmental, that's our insurance, that kind of stuff. So some of them are a little over. And then your governing body, I believe that's BOC is travel conference as well. All right, and then here are the stormwater enterprise funds, and our total access of revenues over expenditures were $76,402. And again, Hank just mentioned that in the winter they do their stormwater maintenance, so you're going to start seeing that go down. And then here's our solid waste enterprise fund, and our total access of revenues over expenditures of $12,387. And then here's our summary of our town existing debt and our current balances as of December 31st. And you can see we got a little debt, so we got some coming up. They're going to be paid off. And then here's our summary of our town current cash and investment accounts. And as you can see, we have an additional account in here, Bank, which is your skip fund. We talked about transferring this to BOC money, but I just went ahead and I took the sidewalk money as well. That way it's earning more interest. So as here's your breakdown on your cash and investment.
Do we know when we will see the additional $3 million?
So yes, I'm in working with that. We were working on the scope last week, and so I'm ready to submit all that. It's ready to go. So the minute I submit all that, probably tomorrow, I'll do that, and then we can see it probably in a week or two.
And what will be our ability to turn that back into one of these higher rate funds?
It's going right directly into that same fund. I got a letter from the bank, because obviously it's new account, so they only accept the letter. So it'll go directly in that account. And then here's our grant update. And I need to add that stormwater master plan, Any questions?
All right, so thank you, Ms. Sonia. Any questions then? So as soon, and I have this on my list to talk about, but as soon as you and Mr. Barlow can work it out, we do need to start our budget work session. And that may be already on the calendar, but please.
We have all the cameras, but I don't know that.
Okay. 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 All right, so future agenda topics, Ms. Elisa. And I know I have two, but I'll let you go first, I'm sorry.
I don't have any additions to changes to the memo provided to your packet. The only thing is.
What page is that on?
tentatively put the audit report in February of the 13th meeting, but depending on his availability and scheduling, it could be either of the February meetings, but I haven't been in the 13th. The 13th will have the JV cheer team here for the recognition that was requested for their state title, and then we'll have 3 public hearings related to downzoning for some parcels on Corbett Road, Catherine Place, and text amendments to the landscape standards in the historic district and the historic boulevard. Other than that, I don't have any other items slated for the first.
Now, the two, for the historic district, have they already gone to the HBC?
Yes, they completed their setting by those the historic and of course that's why we will be getting
Perfect, all right, thank you. I believe I remember the two. So one that I'd like to suggest to the board, well, is I'd like to see us have a segment on the board at least once a month where we can invite community service folks to come in here, whether it's somebody with our veterans, whether it's somebody for our homeless, whether it's somebody working with Shriners or whatever it is that can bring information to us and not just only have their 3 minutes, but they actually have an agenda slot where they can come in and actually make a fulfilled presentation to us. It could even be the high school principal wants to come in and talk about what they need or what they're doing at the high school. So I'd like the board to consider that, or is that something that y'all would be interested in?
Mr. Mayor, I definitely would be interested, and I think anytime we can get community involvement with that, is a plus, and it would create leadership in our community and bring us closer together.
Any board members, additional comments, opposed, for? Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I know a couple of meetings ago, I asked for Ms. Kidwell to come here and be put on the schedule. What's up with that?
Yeah, that'd be a perfect example.
She actually had an event that she had scheduled with the Parks and Rec, we were learning how to make those through happen and see how that went before we got on her. So she is still in, my information for contact and stuff for us.
Okay, is everybody okay with creating the community? Joe? You good? Doug? Joe? Larry?
Yeah, I did.
All right, very good.
Yes, I do the same.
All right, thank you. My other one is I would like permission from the board to be able to work with Miss Anna on the Memorial Day service. Memorial Day is coming around the corner, and I'd like to be able to work with her to be able to work with, get our applications in for the Marine Band and other volunteers in the community to organize that. And the Baptist Church is already committed to allowing us to use the facility again. So is the board okay with me and Anna working together on that? Joe?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about like,
I would like the board's permission to work with Miss Anna at the rec department.
Yeah.
To put on Veterans Day service.
good.
I'm sorry, Memorial Day service.
Memorial Day service.
No, Veterans Day too, that'll be coming down.
Motion to make that happen?
I don't know, do you need a formal motion or you just need a nod? You just need a nod, right?
Mayor, just a question, would this be essentially what the town will be doing is co-sponsoring this event?
It would be, well, I think this makes it a town event by us being able to work together.
Yeah, the employees are involved in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I attended the event last year, I thought it was very nicely done, and it's just, I'd like to see it done again, so, yeah.
All right.
Have the town work with the memorial group in the church.
I haven't reached out to the Memorial Group to see if they'd like to participate yet. I've only reached out to the church, and I didn't, and I reached out to them last year right afterwards because we got so many compliments about being at the church. So.
Yeah.
But I'll have to reconfirm with
It
them.
was very well done, I enjoyed being.
Thank you. All right, those are my two. Thank you your support on those. Mr. Jeff?
Yeah, you know, bring up a controversial topic here to put on the schedule, but after a lot of phone calls and emails and talking to other people, I would like to put on the agenda, possibility of a temporary moratorium on development.
Okay, I'm okay with that, at least as a discussion item, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Board members, moratorium discussion? I believe Jeff sent everybody, the North Carolina, I don't think it was a statute, but information piece on the moratorium, and, okay, everybody good with that? All right.
For clarification, is that a moratorium on residential development, commercial development, lease development, all boards, just so we have?
That's what we're gonna talk about.
All.
And if we need to have somebody come down from the league to really help define that, what it is, that may be appropriate. All right, any other suggestions for future agenda items?
Just one, that, I've had a phone call on about the, again, traffic, speeding up and down 24, people running stoplights, and, a lot of close calls, and, possibly, putting up some of those, radar type of signs that you see in several of the small communities going through town. You know, the flash has whether you're just going too fast or not, and maybe having some of those, at least looking into that, to try and slow the traffic down. And it would sure be nice if folks would quit running the red lights. It's really getting pretty dangerous here.
Well, and Larry, absolute agreement with you, and, Chief, I'm gonna have to give you a hard time for giving you a hard time in public. But I know we bought 2 of those things about 3 years ago, and they've been in mothballs. We've had multiple reasons why they're not up. What can we do to meet Larry's request? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Chief, you have to come up to the microphone. Did we get that one working?
If DOT rep finally got back to me, he gave me, we got to develop a plan where we're gonna put them, and then we gotta get the proper, holes that we get breakaway forms to put them on. And once that's done, we put them on.
Okay.
I would suggest, probably increasing the number. I mean, we've got 2, but I would say that probably, you know,
Do we put that in the budget?
2 to 3, 3 to 4, you know, going each way.
I'm in full agreement.
So we just need something to slow the traffic down and make our Gold Avenue safe.
And I came in, I do want to compliment you, Chief. I came into town Friday night about, I believe it was Friday night. They have my night mixed up. But, yes, I mean, there was 3 sets of blue lights rolling as I come through town, and I appreciate that. And, I know are you still short-staffed? You're still down 3 or 2?
We just brought a guy on this Monday, again this morning, waiting to say, send his paperwork back, and we've got 2 more right now that we're processing. So that is a good down.
Awesome. Getting there. All right. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, just it is not that, and I'm not, this is not directed at our police officers in any way, our law enforcement. We just have, some issues with people traveling through town.
It's the drivers.
Yes, and are there other things that we can do besides what, you know, the radar signs, and I think we just need to have a discussion on that. Are there other options that we can take a look at? That's all.
And I can reach out to the county traffic unit, if we can do that, anytime
And I agree with every one of these guys. And Dwayne, I've asked a couple of people about that light where we lost the light. And I'm not the only one that's had that experience where you felt like, whether it was real or not, there's no way to really prove, where you felt like that light was green on both directions.
We we reached out to DOT, there's no way to show if it was what light was reading at that time.
Sure.
So one of the crossing signal was activated at that time, if we didn't have anything for that.
But the willingness of people to run that light is there. And it is concerning that that light, it just, I'm not the only one to have that experience there, that they felt like both lights were green at the same time. And I understand DOT says it's not possible, but I'm not the only one, and I just, again, agreeing with Larry, anything I know you're strapped a little bit right now getting your guys trained. Yeah, and I appreciate everything you guys do. I'm sorry, I'm talking. All right, guys, what else do we need to get on future agenda? Thank you, Chief. All right, everybody, all right, thank you, Ms. Lisa. So if we can get Chief back with an action plan, if you can get that for us, we appreciate it. I will not skip public comment, Ms. Terry. You didn't fall asleep on us, did you? All right. Ms. Terry will do public comment if you'd like to come up, please. And if you give us your full name and your address. Yes.
My name is Terry Robert, and I live 102 today. Across the street from the facility, and I would like to piggyback on Commissioner Conway's comment a few minutes ago about possible discussion of the program. Because in a nutshell, what I would like to do is how we can get the policy amended so that we are not by additional development. The Swansea development on the corner of Main Street Extension and Dave Road has a really good house. We did not see any sort of renovation for that built. Now, with the new style of development, we did see no impact. It was in December, 49 houses there. Someone appears at this train is already left the station, and not really using those. And the town might have known about it before then. So I would like to know how citizens would find interested in additional market development, since they were not interested in this additional
And board members, I do agree on the land use plan. It has been several years since we've looked at that, and at a very minimum, I think it might be good. And Mr. Barlow has nothing to do with workshops. It may be good to have a land use plan workshop and begin that review process and at least discuss it. So board members, can we go backwards here a little bit and add that to a future agenda or add that to a workshop? You guys okay with that? All right, so Ms. Terry, we're at least going to go look at it, if nothing else. So thank you for reminding us today of that. All right, Mr. Freeman?
I'm going to spare you tonight.
All right. I can sleep tonight. You're not mad at me.
Well, that might be close.
All right, very good. Mr. Barlow, any comments?
Actually, I do have a couple of comments that give information on the projects that are long-term projects here now. Carol basically, I think we did the right one to try to follow our way and learn the lessons of today. the handout that I just gave you, I received a phone call from DOT yesterday, from the engineer, and he told me that he was, in charge of improving and replacing the, ADA, ramps, all along the eastern, seaboard of North Carolina. And so I'm going to need to start that, we're doing that project within the next couple of weeks start. And you'll see that there's 11 pages, each page, except for the last one, we're showing you exactly what ramps are being replaced, and predominantly it's every downtown ramp, Flood Street, Church Street, Walnut, Elm, Water, all over Main Street. So all of those ramps, all of the ADA ramps that we've had some issues with, and specifically the one that Miss Rachel Dawn walked around in the traffic, and they bought them through, those are all being replaced, starting in a couple of weeks. And just wanted to let you guys know that that's getting rid of that map. I just found that out, it's got this plan with a map that
That's awesome, Kate. Is Miss Rachel still in Vernon with us?
she is.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, she sure is. Second, project update is the, seawall down at the, Maddox property. Justin Cruz company, we had a barge and, excavator with whatever, gap that they have on there to start to work. Tomorrow, all of the, seawall, is going to be delivered to the, parking lot, and then they are starting to work on to repair the seawall and also to top wall, boardwalk, basically for that new seawall. Those are the two updates there. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Kate. And if you please tell Miss Rachel, thank you for us. All right, Mr. Barlow, you good? All right, at this time, board comments, Joe Brown,
No comment.
Larry,
No comment.
Bill?
Yeah, I just want to thank the fire department and the way they handled the situation the other day with the gas leak. I know it's a dangerous and volatile situation, and thank you for that.
I concur on that. Good job.
Jeff? Doug? No. All right. Well, again, thank you. Chief, can't thank you enough for, again, the partnerships, and you're trying to knock down some very tall walls, so thank you for that. I love the culture change that you're making, getting volunteers, a lot of shout out for you on that, and appreciate you. And staff, again, well done overall, and just keeping us running. My phone is not getting a lot of complaints, and I appreciate that, and so you pass that down to your crews, your teammates. I love it when my phone doesn't ring about those kind of things, so thank you. With that, board, we need to go, did I skip it? All right. So with that, we do have a closed session scheduled for tonight. So I hope Mr. Barlow has some coffee or some Red Bull back there. We got donuts here. So board, and so Jimmy, I can't guarantee you whether there'll be any decisions made or not made, or maybe some made. So if you want to hang out, up to you. All right, so motion to enter, we ask for a motion to enter closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3 to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege, and 5, to establish or instruct the public body staff or negotiating agent concerning the position to be taken by or on behalf of the public body in negotiating the price or other material terms of a contract or proposed contract for the acquisition of a real property by purchase, option, exchange, or lease. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, folks, we will, I don't think just do it here. And definitely a 5-minute recess, see you at 8:40.
Hey, Jim, I figured it out.
Hey, John, we'll just do it in here.
No, I
You're hanging. No, you're hanging.
You're better than I am. Whatever. We haven't been this long in a while. You guys know where we're going? The left, all right, so tell you what, the restroom is on the right, if you guys want to hit that. And then there's the double, wait for it, the double doors, straight out. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. God, I was waiting for that forever. Yes, ma'am. I'm a commissioner, yeah, I'm local. You have to be a town, you have to live in a town to be a commissioner. Sure. No, it's me, my family's a Marine Corps, so yeah, I guess so. I've lived here since I was about 18 years old. I only spent 3 years waiting for request for recruiting, and whatever time I had before the season, I hope it was in my Bible, it's in Here, I tell you what, you're ready. We're going to close section. While we're in closed section, write your email address on the back of my card right there. And then I can stick in my Bible. Be more than happy to do that. I thought that was a question. Where's the question? They were less than candid. I'll say that. That's what I said. I'm glad you asked that question. And I know you like this. Instead of me telling you what my answer is, I encourage you to go to one pro paper counter on YouTube and look at the town hall each candidate and ask yourself, who's less than candid than that? And ask your friends who have to live for about that situation. Who's left in the game? The job, the answer will be obvious. I don't, here's the thing. I am put in this position in order to watch out for the public trust of people that put me here and voted. I don't view this room from my side of the table, I view it from theirs. And all of the people that voted for me turned out at the polls, asked me, and they say, we're electing you to do this. Okay?
And that's true, I'm not sure, I'm Bill. So I'm all about this slowing down stuff.
Like I said, it's there, look at the archive of the fact. I'm just asking you to look at the fact, and that's just one for a paper conversation. Like, you have to watch, it's obvious. He doesn't act. Okay, I'm gonna play you out. I know. And I'm gonna get controversy from you and other people, like, I'm fully fair.
already lots of going somewhere.
My emergency started to wear out, so.
Your what?
My emergency room, immune medication.
No.
They're going to be sick every minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and take more things. You got me nervous.
Y'all should take some emergency, man. I'll go down.
I've already had that.
It was either that or Tony Stevens, which I was a little bit, I took that directly or directly.
Then I go home and have some, Rose and Levy.
Huh? Well, we got some discussion, a little discussion.
Yeah, we got some, discussion. I didn't see the blue light on, but she said it was live streaming, so yeah, you guys, y'all are active, by the way, your microphone's on.
All right, so I'll watch my language.
Yeah.
Please.
You got that, Rick?
I got an electric shock.
Hey, do you have John and Raz coming?
Just remember, we're not for,
Huh?
for 80% plan, you got to
We're waiting on,
all the.
you want to drag him? You want to drag him? Or do you want me to go do it?
Do it that down there.
Yes.
No. Go get it. Hey. You can take that shirt.
I don't know. Oh, now you got me up. You made me get up.
That's all I'm saying. You know, they say it's you're not ready to go, are you, Jeff? Are you ready to go?
He's gotta get up.
A little bit.
I know what time you get up to go and working.
Yeah, but you get up at 5, you said?
Get up at 5, gotta be there at 6.
Man, that's a good deal.
I mean, I don't have to be there.
I just get up at 3:30 every morning.
I get there.
To go be there at 6.
That's hard.
Man, I'll tell you what, man.
One more year up and I'm done.
There you go, brother. You'll enjoy it.
Should have been this year, but got a promotion.
I hear you, man.
So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take one more year.
You're looking for a high 3, right? There you go. Woo, John.
Holy cow. I still gotta walk the dog, guys. All right, guys, we are coming out of closed session. A couple of business items left to do. Number one, come out of closed session. I would take a motion, to dissolve the ERC committee as it stands.
Make a motion.
So moved.
All right, and do I have a second? Second. All right, all in favor? Aye. All right, I would like to make a motion that we get a public safety, land, committee, if you want to call it that, together, and I would, in the same motion, recommend that if he is still willing, that Keith Walsh, be allowed to chair that, and recommend additional team members to that committee, if he so fits to the board. Do I have a motion? Motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and that was land only at this point, okay, for clarification. All right, board members, last couple things, and I guess it far as chicken or egg, we need to get some, workshops scheduled. Had that somewhere, there we go. So John, Barlow and myself talked earlier today. We suggest the following workshops get scheduled, as soon as your calendars allow. We have, and you guys prioritize as you feel necessary. We have the Historic Association that would like to discuss their proposal. It is my recommendation that the HPC be invited to that workshop. We need the Economic Development Workshop, and we need the Department Workshop. Did I miss anything there, John? Okay, so are there any dates that you guys are available that we could start that? Okay, did he have any suggested dates?
Yeah, he's available for today, if you want to speak with, have him lead your economic development workshop.
And what dates did he suggest?
He is available, evening of February 12th, 14th, and 15th, Monday, February.
All right, Monday, February 12th. He needs multiple evenings, or he's just offering
One
up?
evening.
How does everybody look Monday evening the 12th? Monday evening the 12th of February?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock? That would be the economic development. When is our next scheduled board meeting, Elisa? The 13th. I'd like to recommend the evening of the 6th, to begin our department workshop, and we may even be able to squeeze, it'd be a long meeting, but if we do Tuesday the 6th, schedule in the, historic presentation and,
Mayor, the sixth is the planning board's regular meeting day.
okay, thank you for the correction. How about February the 5th? Does anybody have anything on the 5th?
That's Sunday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what would that be?
And that would be the Swanborough Historic Association presentation. Again, I would recommend the HBC be invited. And I believe you could probably do it the same evening, is start the department workshop. We don't have to get all of them the same night, but we can get started.
Do you want me to check with the historic association, make sure they can do the fifth, and, go from there?
I think we just gotta make a date, we gotta plan a date and invite them, and we get as many there as we can.
What time you wanna do that now?
I'm flexible I'm clear all day. We can do another evening, or we can do a day, whatever y'all wanna do.
Evening.
So that's gonna be Monday the 5th.
Monday the 5th at 6 o'clock. I heard evening from someone down there. Okay.
Yeah.
Where? All right, so Monday the 5th at 6 o'clock.
For the historic and department.
Historic and at least start the department. Okay. Okay.
So we've got historical association presentation on Monday the 5th.
Yes, sir.
6th, okay.
And then this, okay, and then.
Anything else that night? That's none, okay.
All right, so we good, everybody's good with that then? We have the 5th and the 12th, and then we have a regularly scheduled meeting on the 13th. All right. All right, so if everybody's in agreement with those, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Good night.
meeting I have ever